Welcome and thank you for joining today's Insights TechX demonstration. Today, one of the world's leading CRM providers for hospitality businesses, Cendyn, will be presenting their eInsight sales solution, integrating PMS data into your CRM to provide full account and opportunity lifecycle visibility, enabling you to manage all sales stages, personalize communications, and access your business intelligence. From Cendyn, I'm joined by Mikael, the Senior Director of Business Solutions and CRM expert at Cendyn. In his role, Mikael supports the sales organization on the technical side of the sales cycle, ensuring all customers and prospects can achieve their goals using Cendyn's products and services. Mikael also works directly with the product and development teams to create new integrations and customize Cendyn's features to address a client's specific needs. Mikael joined Cendyn through their merger with NextGuest in 2021, and before then held senior level roles at Oracle and Empirics. Mikael studied computer science and mathematics at Umeå University in Sweden and is currently based in Munich, Germany. Welcome, Mikael.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Great to have you. And I'm really looking forward to the demonstration of this fantastic new eInsight sales solution. But before we get into that, Mikael, it's an interesting time with corporate travel coming back. What are some of the trends that you're seeing in the corporate travel space?
Well, there are so many of them, right? But if you look at some of the key things that are happening or changes that we see is there's a lot more like leisure travel. So it's really when you try you're growing the leisure travel when you're at the location for business. So this obviously happens primarily when you have some business traveling, but the traveler finds a little bit more time either in the beginning or towards the end of the trip where they can use that for leisure activities and basically extend the business trip to do sightseeing or do any kind of leisure activities. If you try to put some numbers into that, so according to Expedia, more than 40% of the trips are extended for leisure purposes, and that is of course a huge number. Looking at last year, about 37% of American travelers prolonged their vacation for pleasure. And about 81% remained at the same location for work and pleasure. So it's kind of a lot that you can get into that, and that's why it's also so important with business travelers for the hotels. It's not just the business traveler per se, but you also get some of the leisure travel part with that. And for us, since we are talking about eInsight sales, it's an integrated and automated B2B and B2C CRM solution. So the sales part is an add-on to the B2C, and that helps us to use that profile data that we capture from the PMS or from other data sources and use that for different purposes, both from the B2B perspective as well as from the B2C perspective. So we take all those profiles and we consolidate them, cleanse them, enrich them with data that we get from the stay or from other sources, and this becomes the central source of truth for everything that you're doing, basically. So that's kind of one thing. And then obviously remote work is something that becomes the normality, right? If you look at it, a few years ago, before the pandemic, it was, you went to the office and you worked in the office, and then you traveled for work purposes. Now everyone more or less has the ability to start working from different locations, and this changes everything. You have more of these digital nomads that travel everywhere, enjoy and experience other locations, but can still work. You see this everywhere. In the US, in Europe, companies are losing up the need to go to offices Many companies are completely shutting down their offices. Everyone is working remotely, and that of course gives you other opportunities to go and travel and stay at hotels. Some of our customers are actually focusing more and more on hosting corporate business travelers from that perspective, and also renting out much more office spaces in the hotels. So yeah, that's
Mm.
definitely something that we see.
So I think the bleisure trend started out where it was individual driven. A
Yeah.
corporate businessman was going, away for leisure and decided to do some work while they were on holiday, basically. Are you now seeing that companies are supporting the business leisure combined travel and actually contracting on the basis of leisure travel as well?
Um, I'm not sure if a lot of companies do that kind of officially, but it's
Mm.
certainly one way of ensuring that your employees are happy and satisfied.
Mm.
Because I mean, if you look at the economy today, you're not always in the position where you can increase salaries and do those kind of things easily without risking having a negative impact to your business.
Mm.
And therefore, allowing then your employees to, extend their business travel a bit is certainly something that would benefit the employee as well as the employer, because happy employees tend to work better and more efficient.
Mm. And easier to retain with the company as well.
Definitely. So you
Mm.
could see that as maybe a non-official benefit, work benefit.
Sure, sure. So what are some ways to drive corporate leads into the sales pipeline then, Mikael?
Well, I think it's important that you, on the one hand side, make sure that you have a total understanding about um, everything that's going on that is relevant for you, so that you work with corporate accounts that might be relevant for you, that work with travel agents, and that you use a sales automation tool like eInsight Sales
Hmm.
that is really focused on the hospitality sales automation. Use that to capture new leads, and then drive interactions with those leads, have totally personalized communication with those leads through the tool, as well as, you know, normal phone calls, meetings, whatever. And once you identify the opportunities, you track them in the tool, and follow them through from the, identify an opportunity to close a deal. And the benefit of those tools is really that you can keep track on all your different opportunities. You're not losing out of them, and you can see how long it's been since you engage with a potential uh, opportunity that you have, so that you don't lose track of them. It's important that you really keep track on all your opportunities, and that you convert as many as possible with those tools. And the tools really help you with that. And on the other side, you have business that you already closed with companies. So let's say that you have a corporate agreement with someone, and that agreement is saying, hey, you are going to produce, what do I know, 500 room nights a year. Um, Now you only have that contract normally, and you don't really have the follow-up necessarily, because it's so difficult to keep track on that. You have to go into different systems in order to figure out, okay, so what did we agree with this particular corporate account, and what have they actually produced until now? With something like eInsight Sales, you have not only the contractual information on all of your accounts available, but you also have the production data, so that you can easily see, oh, they only produced maybe 100 room nights so far, and we're like 9, maybe 6 months into the contract. You should be much further along the road. So you have the option or possibility to reach out to your um, corporate account, or travel agent if you wish that, and then check out with them. What's going on. I thought we would be further down the agreement at this point in time. Do you have a trade show or a corporate event that is coming up? And that's the reason why you're behind on your bookings. And also use this information later on when you renegotiate the contract for the next year. If they didn't reach their goal, well, maybe you have to offer them other conditions. Or you can see accounts that maybe no one is really taking care of, but they are producing a lot of revenue. And if you put a sales employee on those, then maybe you can grow that revenue even more. Yeah.
Sounds fantastic. And does the eInsight sales work across multiple properties as well? So an inquiry in one property can be seen at a corporate level?
Yeah. So it's a corporate sales tool, which you can use either on a corporate level as well as on the property level itself. So it's really up to the customer how to structure the sales organization and the usage of the tool. But I think that the most important thing is really that you keep track on all the data, including your PMS production data, as well as future reservations. And that's kind of one of the key differentiators.
So how can you drive corporate bookings once an account is contracted?
Well, I think it's all about making sure that you have this personalized information and offers that are going out to your accounts. Obviously, you're capturing information about what this account is interested in and what they do, and you try to tailor the communication along those lines, and you make sure that you promote the properties that are relevant for them as a target group. So it's about communication. It's about making sure that you send out the right offers, and making sure that once you get an inquiry, or once they do signal that they have intent to do some more bookings, maybe it's a corporate event or whatever, that you are quick on the ball and make sure that they get all the information they need as quickly as possible, so that you can close that business efficiently before they find other alternatives, so to say.
For sure. And having that centralization of all leads enables the corporate team to understand what's coming in at a local level and respond in a timely fashion.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's fantastic. So let's talk about RFPs. They're a great source of business for most hotels, but they also require a huge amount of effort in time and resource investment. How does eInsight Sales assist to future-proof the RFP response?
Well, there are a couple of different ways that you can do this, and it obviously depends a little bit on how the RFPs are structured and what information you have there, as well as on the properties themselves. What kind of services are they offering to their potential customers? But I see a couple of different key things here. So one is obviously the ability to capture all the information and make sure that you store that, and make sure that, hey, we know when you have to send back a response and what information the customer needs. So that's one thing. The second thing is, once you have provided the information in a format that makes sense, we have two abilities to automate parts of the process. So on the one hand side, we can send out and generate contracts very easily through the tool. So we have different templates that you can use, and through those templates we can generate PDF documents where we are injecting data into these documents, like all the contact information, all the rates, and what's included into the contract and so on. So that is something that can save the salespeople a lot of time, because we are generating that automatically based on what the contract type is and so on. So that's one thing. The second thing is, we have an additional tool which is called eProposal, and with eProposal we are able to generate kind of micro websites with offers for someone that is looking for maybe a specific venue for a corporate event, maybe it's a wedding or what have you. So this micro website can contain obviously nice looking texts and images and small videos and whatnot. And this is generated for them on the go. So it's something that is quick and easy to do, but really gives you a fancy presentation of the whole thing. So those are the things that we can do in order to help the sales team to focus their time on closing deals rather than to format a proposal and do those kind of things.
Sounds great. Sounds a lot more efficient as well, a lot more productive.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, things weren't easy before the pandemic. You know, everyone had tons of things to do, and it was, you know, you always had to try to focus on, you know, what do you really want to complete and what do you really want to do. Now, after the pandemic, we've seen a lot of people leaving the industry, and a lot of organizations don't really have the financial means to keep a huge staff either. So we're a lot less people that has to do a lot more. And today also the competition is fearless. I mean, you really have to be at the top of your game in order to close the business. So not only do you have to do more with less resources, you also have to do better. And especially in the hospitality industry, I think we are at the kind of a turning point, maybe you want to call it that, where the hospitality that has been a little bit more traditional when it comes to the systems that supports us, all of a sudden customers are expecting that we perform in the same way as all other industries. So that means that we have to find new ways and better ways, and we have to start making use of I'm not sure that I want to use the word artificial intelligence, because a lot of people are just throwing that around and it really doesn't mean anything in many cases. But we have to find better ways of being more efficient. Maybe using IE, maybe using fuzzy logic and expert systems in order to serve customers with more. It might be highly personalized emails. It might be personalization on the website, something that we haven't really seen much in the industry. Cendyn has had it for quite some time, but and then combining that with a CRM so that you could actually target people on the website with data that you keep in your CRM, which is a fantastic ability, right? So I think that is what a trend shift that I see, and a need for that, if that kind of makes sense.
Fantastic. It certainly does. Mikael, let's jump into the demonstration. I'm dying to see how eInsight Sales can deliver all these benefits that we've just been talking about. So can you take us through it, please?
Yeah, definitely. And since we don't have that much time, we're just going to focus on a couple of different areas. And then if anyone wants to know a little bit more, then please reach out to us and we'll schedule a little bit longer in-depth demo, and we can look at your specific needs and wishes.
So we just logged into eInsight Sales, and we are greeted by these different user dashboards that shows us, for example, our emails, our calendar, any open tasks that we have, as well as the activity stream that shows us everything that is going on inside of the sales automation tool. We also have sales dashboards where we can look at our top opportunities, the pipeline that we have, your accounts, the quotes and leads that we have, and so on. And this is really here to give you an insight into what's going on. And from here, you can jump directly into the opportunities or to the quotes and start working with them. The dashboard contains a lot of different dashlets, and these dashlets can be moved around on the screen, or you can add or remove them to make sure that it really fits your needs. In the tool, we're basically dealing with accounts, and this could be corporate accounts or travel agent accounts or something else, their contacts, and the management of the whole sales lifecycle, going from a lead until you're closing the business. So you have a lot of different modules on top here where you can go in and log calls or meetings or view accounts and what have you. But the easiest way of finding an account is basically to use the global search. So if I would go in here and I search for big, for example, then I will see all of the accounts or cases or contacts or opportunities, anything that is related to big. And in my case here, we're looking for the big corporation. So we're going to jump into that account. And from here, we can see that this is one of my favorite accounts. So I've start marked it as a favorite. And with this account, we can also see that we have won 50,000 in opportunities this year with them. And we have a total opportunity value of 125,000 with them. So we see some basic information about the contact here, or the account here. We see that it's a corporate account. We see who is assigned to the account and so on. On the right hand side, we see all the opportunities that we lost. So last year we lost about 30,000 worth of opportunities, and this year we have won 50,000, as we said. So you have all that information here along with a timeline of all the main activities that is going on. And as I scroll down, I can see what we call sub-panels. And these sub-panels, they allow us to view additional information. So this could be all our opportunities, or the last touch points you had with the account, or the number of contacts you have, or the PMS production. And I think this is a key thing, really, something that differentiates the Cendyn solution compared to many other solutions in the market. It's really that we get the production data from the PMS and can show you how many room nights the account has produced and what kind of revenue you have there. Here we have the big corporation, and this is mapped to a PMS profile, and this is really what brings us in the PMS revenue in here later on. We see our opportunities with their sales stage, the expected close date, the value, and who it's assigned to. But the columns that we see here is also something that can be configurable. So it's a very, very flexible system. If I scroll down a little bit more, I see production data where I see how much revenue we have for the different properties on a monthly basis, with number of room nights, the room revenue, total revenue, the average room rate, and the average rate that you have there. So you have all of that data very easily accessible. And this is important because it allows then your sales team to understand what your accounts are really producing without having to leave the tool. If we scroll down further here, we see our contacts, any contracts that we have, activities, quotes, and so on. If I would jump into one of my contacts here, then I would see information about the contact. Scroll down here, and I will see other information pieces that are related to him or involved in one of my opportunities. So I could, of course, jump into that specific opportunity. I see information about that opportunity. So when is it supposed to close? What is the amount that we have in here? What sales stage are we in right now? And so on. We see the timeline again, the size analysis of this opportunity compared to other opportunities we have, and how long this opportunity has been in this particular sales stage. If we scroll down, we can see quotes that we have for this opportunity, our contacts again, activities, and so on. So the tool is really here to allow us to keep track on everything that is happening throughout the sales cycle, and to support you to close business in a much more efficient way. Now, if we talk about quotes or contracts, this is something that the tool can generate for us. So we can create templates, and out of these templates, we can generate PDF documents. And we are able to inject data into these PDF documents. So here, for example, let's go into the quotes that we have for this opportunity. So in the quote, we see what is the quote about. It's some kind of board meetings. It's linked to the board meetings 2023 opportunity. The quote is valid until the 3rd of April. It's assigned to me, it's approved. The properties that are involved is the Hotel Origami in Las Vegas. What we can do here is that we can look at, okay, who did we send this quote to, and the different line items for this particular opportunity. But we could also here generate a new PDF for us. So we could generate a new one and just have a look at it, how it would look, for example. So here I have the new quote that we sent out. So again, templates can be totally customized for you. We see the quote, we can send this off to the customer. But we could also use this and create a contract. So out of this quote, we could generate a contract. Now, one important thing around sales is, of course, leads. Now, if we would go into the leads section here, and we would then see leads that we have captured, maybe we've been at trade shows, and we can go in and work with the leads and then fully convert them into a new business opportunity. So if we take one of the new leads that we have here, so we have Mr. Jack Daniels. He seems to be some senior sales agent, and he works for Bourbon Travel. And apparently we have been trying to work with these guys, trying to identify if we have some kind of opportunity here. We have seen or identified that we have an opportunity worth 25,000 here. We have acquired this lead through cold calling, and maybe we are at this point in time where we say, yeah, we are ready to actually push this into a new opportunity. So what we can do then is that we go into actions and we say that we want to convert this lead. Now, when we do that, the tool will basically give us a new screen and provide all the information that we captured in the lead process. And the tool asks us, do you want to create a new contact, or do you want to link it to an existing contact? This is a new contact, so we'll leave it like that. Same for the account. Do we have an account already? Then we can link it. If not, then we'll create a new account. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new opportunity as well. So when we do that, we just have to give this an opportunity name. So this is 2023 opportunity. We are in maybe the value proposition phase, and these sales stages are totally customizable. We define when do we think that this deal will close. Well, we are optimistic and think that it will be by the end of June. We can create notes, we can log calls and whatnot. But if we're, feel fine about this, we can just hit save. And we have now created a new contact, a new account, and a new opportunity. So if we click on the newly created account, we see here that this is, we have 25K in opportunity value here. It's assigned to me because I'm the one that created this. We can go in here and populate this with more information, obviously. But we have our contact here, we have the opportunity, and can continue to work on this one. Now, reporting is, of course, also important here. We have reporting directly in the tool, as well as reporting through Microsoft's Power BI that allows us to create dashboards and reports, totally customizable for us, so that you have full control over everything all the time. Again, the tool really supports everything from the account management of the contacts, and going through the whole sales cycle. Logging calls, logging meetings, and everything like that. So I hope that this gave you a good intro to eInsight sales, and we are looking forward to show you this a little bit more in detail later on. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for watching this presentation. If you'd like to learn more about Cendyn's eInsight sales solution, you can click the links in the notes or visit cendyn.com. Thank you very much, Mikael. It's been great to have you on and fantastic to see the new solution.
Thank you so much for having me.